Hey everybody, welcome to another FB Live. I'm running a little bit late on today's FB Live, but I am here with you to do some FB Live training. Cassandra Von Worsley. If you are watching this on YouTube, just to give you an understanding, we have a powerful community of entrepreneurs here in Fire Your Inner Critic, Find Your Inner Badass, and finally build your business. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Fire Your Inner Critic. You can also check out my new course, Fire Your Inner Critic Level 1, which is the prerequisite course to joining the group mastermind, the Inner Badass Intensive. You can find that at cassandravon.com. Just click Fire Your Inner Critic and you can learn all about the Level 1 course. Fire Your Inner Critic Level 1 is a powerful course, so make sure you go to cassandravon.com, click Fire Your Inner Critic, and check out the new course. It is the prerequisite for anybody who's going to join me in the mastermind for the Inner Badass Intensive. All right. I was originally going to talk about compound content creation today, how to be basically a content creation machine. I'm actually going to move that conversation to tomorrow because something else came up that I just need to share today. So tomorrow we will be training on compound content creation as well as the power of scheduled downtime. We'll do a double training episode tomorrow. But today I want to talk about how do you handle the obstacle of not believing in you? Sit with that for a second, because there are lots of people out there who are beginning the process of building a business, or who are building a business and hitting roadblocks, or who feel like there's just never enough time in the day to do everything that the business requires. And in those moments when you're not living up to your own expectations as an entrepreneur, when you're not doing everything that's on your to-do list to do, when you feel as if maybe I'm not equipped, like maybe I'm not disciplined enough, maybe this entrepreneurial journey isn't for me, I want to talk in today's training. This is 100% mindset training. I want to talk to you today about how do you handle the obstacle of not believing in you. Because if there's one thing you're going to need on this journey, there's one thing that you have to get to where you say you want to go in your business, you got to believe in you. There is no, if you don't believe in you, this business is not going to happen. So we need to do some training on when you know that you're having a self-doubt moment or a self-doubt week or a self-doubt year. How do you handle the obstacle of not believing in you? Let's start with point number 1. So there comes a moment, and I hope that you get there sooner in your business building experience rather than later. But there comes a moment in your business, no matter what anybody else says to you, no matter whether people believe in your business dream or not, no matter what is coming against you in the form of real world obstacles, time management issues, not enough resources, not enough money, there does come a moment where in the middle of the obstacle of not believing in yourself, you have to make an unequivocal decision to decide who you are and live into who that is. This is a profound moment that I want you to really think about. And you can create that moment at any time you want, but there does come a moment where you have to say to yourself, either I am the person who was born to do this, or I'm not. Either I am the entrepreneur who's capable of creating money from nothing, or I'm not. There comes a moment where you have to decide who you are, and you've actually got to live into who that is. Nobody else can tell you who you are but you. I don't care who is cheerleading you to begin to build a business. I don't care who's telling you have the power to do it. I don't care if people are so supportive of you and they believe in your business dream. If you have not made an unequivocal decision that this is who I am, this is who I am, and this is who I'm going to be, your business will not work. If you don't believe in you, your business will not work. So let me ask you a couple questions about making this decision of who you are and living into who that is. Number 1, have you decided yet that you're going to be successful in business? I don't mean like if I don't make 100,000 in 6 months and I quit. I don't mean any of those kind of deadline things that people who really don't want to build a business actually do so they can give themselves an excuse for not building a business at the end of their lifetime. No. Have you said to yourself, Am I going to be successful in business? Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Am I going to be successful in business? Have you decided unequivocally that yes, it doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter what I have to learn. It doesn't matter what I have to do. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to create a way. Have you decided that no matter what, you're going to be successful in business? That's the first thing about deciding who you are and living into that. Second question, do you really believe on the deep down inside of you, the part that you don't share with anybody else, the part that you don't tell anybody else, do you really believe that you have the power to develop a 6 or 7 figure business? Now, see, a lot of people don't want to tie money to business. They want to go, I don't care about the money. I'm not about the money. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, can I help you out? You better be about the money. Because if you're not about the money, you have a hobby, you actually don't have a business. So I'm going to ask you, in deciding unequivocally who you are, have you made up your mind that if the person who did mypillow.com could build a multi-million-dollar about pillows, okay? If Sarah Blakely could build a billion-dollar business with Spanx, you know, the tight stuff we put up under our clothes? I mean, just think of some of the and it's not that it's ridiculous, but think of some of the businesses. Howard Schultz and Starbucks. Do you know that in 1980, Starbucks wasn't even a thing? And Netflix, does everybody remember the Blockbuster days? When it was like you would go to Blockbuster and you would get a cassette, a video cassette, and you'd rent it? Netflix was nothing then. So if these entrepreneurs can create multi-million dollar businesses, do you truly believe deep down that whatever your business's idea is, I don't care what it is, that you are passionate about it and purposeful about it to the point where you go, if anybody can develop a 6-figure business by creating beanie bags, okay? Beanie bags. If anybody can put their name on a handbag and charge thousands of dollars for a little itty bitty purse, I can do that with my business. Because if you are on the fence about that, this is where we have to get back to handling the obstacle of not believing in you. Third point, are you willing? This is a really important one. Are you willing to be here as long as it takes to succeed? Like, you know, lots of people go, well, I'm going to give this 6 months. We'll see how it goes. And if after 6 months it doesn't work, then I'll do something else. Try that. See how that works for you. It won't. Because the reality is, if you look at Joe DeSena, who started the Spartan race thing, you know, that Spartan race, it took Joe DeSena 9 years before he saw a profit with Spartan. Now, you know how big Spartan races are today, but if you were Joe DeSena back then when he wasn't making any money, but he was putting his heart and soul into his business, and it took you, what if you knew it was going to take you 9 years before you could even pay yourself in your business? Would you still do your business? Unless you can say, I'm willing to be here as long as it takes, then you have an issue of believing in you, because your business has to mean enough to you, and you have to know yourself enough to say, whatever it takes. Don't worry about the time. Whatever it takes, because I'm not leaving until I get what I came for. So point number 1, when we talk about how to handle the obstacle of not believing in you, decide who you are and live into who that is. Point number 2, to handle the obstacle of not believing in you. This comes from Dr. Norman Vincent Peale's book, The Power of Positive Thinking. If you have not read it, I highly suggest that you go and read it. Number 2, stand up to your obstacles and take immediate, massive action. Those of you who've taken my Focus Mindset Formula course, you know what I say in that Focus Mindset Formula course. DMA, baby. DMA. What daily massive action are you taking? What daily massive inspired action are you taking? Here's the thing with point number 2. When I say stand up to your obstacles and face them, let me read to you what Norman Vincent Peale said in The Power of Positive Thinking. This is what he said. So the first thing to do about an obstacle is simply to stand up to it and not complain about it or whine under it, but forthrightly attack it. This is the important line that he says. Don't go crawling through life on your hands and knees, half defeated. Can I say that again? Don't go crawling through life on your hands and knees, half defeated. Stand up to your obstacles and do something about them. You will find that they haven't half the strength you think they have. Here's the reality about your obstacles. They don't have half the strength that you think they have in the moment. I don't care what your obstacle is. I don't care if it's money. I don't care if it's resources. I don't care if it's courses. I don't care if you don't know how to build a website, but you need a web. Doesn't matter what the obstacle is. Your only goal, if you want to truly believe in yourself and your ability to build this business, is you must stand up to your obstacles and take immediate, massive action on them. They are not as powerful as you. I really want you to take that in, because I see a lot of people succumbing to obstacles and freaking out over little things and feeling like, am I always going to be stuck here? Am I always going to be in this? No, you're not always going to be in this place. You know why? Because as soon as you stand up to your obstacles, as soon as you say, you know what? Since it's my obstacle, it actually has to be smaller than me, because guess what? It's mine. It's mine. So there's no way, if it's my obstacle, that it could be more powerful than me, because I own it. How about that? So step number 2, stand up to your obstacles and take immediate, massive action. When I say massive action, what do I mean? And here's the thing, if you don't like something that's going on in your business, if you don't like the products or services that you offer, let's say you work in your home office and you don't like where you live. Do you know what immediate massive action looks like? Let me give you an example of what it looks like. It looks like I have a home office that I don't love and I want to be somewhere else. I need to decide where I want to be. I need to decide what it costs to be there. I need to figure out how I'm going to get my way to where I really want to be. And then I need to take at least one big step in that direction. It might be a phone call. It might be an email. It might be looking for a new place. Same thing applies in any aspect of business, your website, your products, your services. Stand up to the obstacle and take immediate massive action. Next point. Point number 3, when you are trying to handle and overcome this thing of the obstacle of not believing in you. Number 3, do not allow setbacks to steal your focus and power, to steal the focus and power that you need to build a successful business. Let's go back to Norman Vincent Peale. Here's what he says in The Power of Positive Thinking. He said, he was never defeated by the discouraging vicissitudes of the game. That is one of the most subtle lines I have ever read in any sports story. He was never defeated, really pay attention to this, by the discouraging vicissitudes of the game. It means, does it not then, that when the game seemed to go against him, he did not let discouragement creep in, nor negative thoughts dominate and thus lose the power needed to win. This mental and spiritual quality made that man a champion. He was able to face obstacles, to stand up to them and overcome them. Faith supplies staying power. Listen, you cannot allow the setbacks that you're experiencing in the moment to steal your ability to apply focus and power to building a successful business. Faith supplies staying power. The only way you're going to get to the successful business is if you have staying power. The only way you're going to have staying power is if you have faith. Faith in what? Faith in you. Faith that the universe has your back. Faith that everything, even the shitty stuff, is always working out for you. Always, everything shitty is actually for you. There's an opportunity in every obstacle. Faith is what is going to give you the staying power to stay the course. But here's the thing, when a setback comes, you can't whine, complain, bitch. None of that is going to serve you. Like, give yourself 5 minutes to get it out of your system and then say to yourself, so how exactly am I going to stand up to this obstacle? How exactly am I going to now stand up, look at the obstacle, and say, I'm stronger than this. So one of us is going to give up at some point, and it's not going to be me. It's going to be this obstacle. Here's the 4th point. You overcome obstacles always in your mind first. I think most people think about obstacles when they happen, especially in business, like, okay, what do I need to do? Who do I need to call? Most people look at it like, they're frenzied about this like action thing. And I'm all about DMA. I'm all about daily massive action. But let me be very clear about the order that daily massive action needs to happen. You overcome the obstacle in your mind first, always. There is nothing in your life that you have created that you did not create in your mind first. I want you to really think about this. If you got a college degree, do you know where you created the attainment of that college degree? In your mind. You said to yourself, whether it was in high school or working for somebody else, you said, I really ought to get a college degree. And then you know what you did? You created in your mind. You went out and applied to the school. You got accepted. You did the work. But that college degree was not created with DMA first. That college degree was created in your mind. So we overcome the obstacles in our minds first. Here's the thing. Norman Vincent Peale, this book is so powerful, you should get it. The Power of Positive Thinking. He said, most of our obstacles, as a matter of fact, are mental in character. Ah, you may object. Mine are not mental, mine are real. Perhaps so, but your attitude towards them is mental. The only possible way you can have an attitude is by the mental process, and what you think about your obstacles largely determines what you do about them. Can I say that last line again? What you think about your obstacles largely determines what you do about them. And when I say what you think about your obstacles, let's just go there for a second. Not what you tell other people you think about your obstacles. Not what you post on Facebook, what you think about your obstacles. Deep down in the bottom of your soul, when nobody else is looking, the things you would never tell anybody else, what you truly believe about your obstacles will absolutely determine what you do about them. If you don't think it's possible to build a 6 or 7 figure business, you never will. You never will. You know why you never will? Because you think that the obstacles to building that 6 or 7 figure business is way bigger than you. If you believe that you're the person who has bad luck or who tries really hard at things but never gets very far, or for every step you take forward, you take 3 steps back, or you believe that you're the kind of person who's built to work for somebody else but to never work for yourself and to never have employees, you will create that, because at the end of the day, what you think about your obstacles largely determines what you do about them. What do I need to tell you at the end of the day about this? The obstacle, the thing, I don't care what is not going right in your business right now. If you are wondering to yourself, why am I not making the money I should be making? Why am I not getting the clients I should be getting? Why isn't my email list not building? Do you know what? It has nothing to do with your social media. It has nothing to do with your email list, although the email list is king when it comes to making money. Has nothing to do with those things. Check your mind first. Do you really believe in yourself? You know when you believe something is true? Like, have you ever had somebody tell a lie about you that you absolutely knew wasn't true? Have you ever had somebody lie on you and you knew that lie wasn't true? Have you ever been in a situation where somebody accused you of something that you knew you didn't do? Do you know how much conviction you have when somebody tries to accuse you of something that you did not do? Do you know how fervently you stand on the truth of your experience when somebody tries to call you something that you are not, and somebody tries to accuse you of something that you're not? Do you know how seriously, when somebody tries to call you something that you are not, that you literally stand taller? You look that person in the eye and you say to them, that is not who I am, and that is not what happened. It is that kind of certainty and faith that you need to build a business. And that does not come because you go out there and prove to yourself that you can do it. That's not the way you develop self-belief. Do you know where self-belief comes from at the end of the day? You decide that this is who you are. You decide that you're a 6 or 7 figure business, and then you live into it. You decide that you're going to create a company that pays people what they're worth, that gives people quality of life, that boosts the economy. And then you take however long, how many years it takes to do it. But you decide first, and then you live into it. So what am I saying? The number one thing you can do for your business right now is believe in you. The number one thing you can do for your business right now is say, this is who I am. I can't tell you the number of people I come across who want to write a book or who are writing a book, and yet they don't call themselves writers. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you get the problem with that? You are writing a book. I don't care if you've been writing this book for 5 years. You are writing a book, and yet when people ask you what you do not include writer in the category. What's wrong with that picture? Do you know what? If you write the first word of your first book and the intro begins with I, guess what you are? A writer. You're a writer. So If you're not owning this whole entrepreneur title, if when people ask you what you do, you don't tell them, I'm a writer, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm launching this amazing business, here's what, if you can't speak to the power of who you are in business, then you need to work on believing in you, because nobody's going to believe in you until you do. Nobody. And the work of creating whatever you want in 10 years happens right here with what you believe, right here with what you say to yourself, right here with what you embody and accept, and right here with how you stand up to the obstacles that are in your way. Because the obstacles, since they're yours, will never be bigger than you. They will never be bigger than you. So at the end of the day, here's what I'm saying. I'm going to teach you all about content creation. We're going to talk about marketing and sales. We're going to talk about all these things this year. But if you aren't doing the daily work of believing in you, I'm going to tell you something. Go do the work of believing in you, because that is the most important thing that will determine in the long term whether you succeed or fail in this business. That's all I have to say. Drop the mic. That's it. I have nothing else to say. Believe in you. Work on it. Because you are the empire. Period. All right, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll do a double training tomorrow. See you later.